And just the last thing, I know, Mayor, you mentioned it, but I take offense to being called a socialist. You're saying we're doing socialist whatever. I'm just saying I have never believed in anything in terms of socialism in any way. I don't know anybody that does. I'm not a Democrat. I mean, I am a registered Republican, so I have my values. I am conservative in many ways in terms of my belief. But the thing is, this position is nonpartisan. So we could have Republicans, we can have Democrats, we can have people that belong to no party. We have people that are independents. But when we're here, we're not representing a political party. But to say that some of the decisions that we make or might make are socialistic, I do take offense to that. And I think considering we have, two members here of a party opposite of mine, and I am sure that, I don't want to speak for you both, but I just take offense to that. I mean, that's not who I am. I've never believed in it. I've studied it and know that it will never work here. I know that there are some people who want this country to be socialist, to be a socialist country, and I would never, ever believe in that or want that for this country.
I mean, if I could be heard, I guess we did cross the boundaries of civility there. The council had been doing quite well for a while, but certainly using the word socialist I just don't think it's appropriate. It really isn't. And I think if giving something back to the community is a socialist type of thing, I just don't understand it. It doesn't make sense. I do think it was inappropriate. I really do. I agree with you. And I'm a registered Democrat, by the way.
I know there's nothing wrong with that. I think everybody can get along with everybody. You can agree to disagree, but I think the way that we've seen it here, both locally and nationally, is that it's terrible. I mean, you can speak your mind about something and you're made fun of. The thing is, you can argue the facts, and that's what it should be. But when you start doing, politics of personal destruction or making fun of somebody because of their appearance or whatever it is, that has nothing to do with what we do here. And we see that going on. Nobody's going to want to hear about this, but we see this going on with the meme page, that some of us here are being constantly made fun of every day. And Mayor, you even said on the radio that you know who's behind that page. I heard it. I mean, you said it, and yet I feel like you condone it. And to me, I think it's a version of cyberbullying. I mean, look at how they use Mr. Ballard's likeness and his name and everything without permission. And I think the thing is that I think there's a limit. You want to talk about issues, that's one thing, but when you start making fun of somebody because of their appearance or the color of their hair, or that, in my case, I'm overweight, I got it, okay, but what does that have to do with the job that we're here to do? And Mayor, I think that you could put a stop to that, or you could at least say, hey, who is it that's behind that? But you said you did, and I think if people want to talk about the issues, that's one thing, but all they do there is make fun of the three of us. You two are never made fun of. Didn't do it for that, but
Good show.
I
Thanks.
just want to, mention the fact that you have had, Mayor, I don't want to pick on you, but what I'm saying is you've had 4.5 months when you were on the radio for free saying what you wanted to say. It was one-sided. You were calling us everything. Oh, we're the liberal majority. I mean, but you did all that unanswered because why? You had the bully pulpit. You had a radio, 1 hour twice a week. You had 2 hours a week for 4.5 months of putting out there everything. and making fun of us and calling us names or making a depiction of something when we're not. And I've reached my limit where it is, to me, it is bullying. It is cyberbullying with this page. And I'm sure that now, because I'm saying this, I guarantee you there'll be a meme on that page tomorrow. Just because I am speaking up and standing up to that. I think it's terrible. And I mean, they pick on other people too. They've even, although maybe in a nicer way, they've gone after staff. I know, Mr. Mix, you got some dance moves on, and I think Mr. Mills had some dance moves too, so we can't leave him out. But I mean, the thing is, I think people should really look at that and really wonder who is behind this page, because obviously it's being done for political reasons, and it's attacking the people that have made decisions that they're not happy with, so let's just go after them and attack them. That's what it is. I've got people now who are afraid to even comment on my page because they don't want to be on this meme page. So I'm just putting it out there that I think that, they should, I know, Mr. Olney, you've been picked on about because of your memes, but it's true, though. I mean, you did put your name to it. These people, they hide behind it, and I think it would be interesting to know who's behind it. And Mayor, you said you know, and why not share that with us? So with that, I am finished.
Thank you. Addressing the topic you brought up about the meme page, I can tell you it's not me. And it's ironic, the hypocrisy from you, when this gentleman has done memes against me negatively for years, and nothing but a church mouse, silence. That seems to be okay for you. That's your double standard.
Oh.
And if you, I didn't interrupt you.
Okay.
Did I interrupt you? I don't think so. Excuse me. This is not privilege of the floor, sir. And I'm well aware of your hypocrisy, too. So, because you sign your name doesn't make it right, does it? Maybe in your book, but excuse me, this is not your turn to speak. Mrs. Dermody, if you were a teacher and you told your students to be quiet, wouldn't they be quiet? So this is not your turn to speak. Be a teacher and learn. Okay. So it's amazing the hypocrisy when we talk about memes, and it's okay to criticize certain people in certain camps. I haven't done any of memes on anyone. Zero. You okay? Do you need help?
No, I think you do.
Well, I was just wondering if those are involuntary responses. I mean, Can you guys please, or we're going to have to ask you to leave.
We gotta calm this down.
Mr. and Mrs. Dermody, please, if you can't be quiet during this time, we can ask you to leave, okay? This is not privilege of the floor. Nobody interrupted you when you had privilege of the floor, did they? They didn't. Nobody interrupted members of the council when they had their turn to speak. But you have to make all these noises. If you have to excuse yourself, that's fine. You okay to stay, or do you need to go? Okay. So it's just amazing the hypocrisy when we talk about memes. I certainly have much better things to do in my time and work hard enough at multiple jobs that I don't have time to create memes and do those little caricatures. Not my deal, not my style. But I appreciate your attack on me. Well, for years, the attacks on memes have come at me, and I've just taken it. And you've remained silent. You haven't said one word. Zero. Why the double standard? One has to ask.
Can't defend myself.
So one has to ask, why the double standard? I'm not a meme guy or any of that stuff. That's not my gig. In terms of socialist, I never said one person was a socialist. I didn't call you a socialist. So let's not make a play on words. If we look at one's voting record and style, I would call it very liberal, certainly not fiscally conservative. Now, if you want to give it another title, I don't know what that title is, but just spending taxpayer money on things that are not needed, i.e. golf courses, i.e. third pools, those are not things that I would spend taxpayer money on. Not getting appraisals and due diligence, those things should be done. In term, I'm sorry, again. No, I just,
We just can't defend ourselves, that's all.
I didn't interrupt you one bit. But you don't have the same respect. It's classic. You know, I get it's an election year, let's go after somebody, but that's fine. If we could get Mr.